It's Boy Advice with Amber V. Hey, that's me! So today we have a couple questions from my friend Julia, all the way from Australia. And it's a little bit serious business, not the usual jokey talk that we get into sometimes. The first question is, what is one piece of advice that you have learned in your life which you think is the most worth passing on? And that is, don't be like me. Honestly, I have made every mistake in the book, and only just now am I starting to figure things out. Other than don't be like me, I'd like to just spitball some random advice at you, okay? Don't make out with guys in rat-infested alleys in Chicago or, like, anywhere, really. Rats are a big just no. Um, don't move in with a guy that you barely know, even if he looks like a young George Harrison, and you think, OMG, I could totally be his Patty Boyd. That's not gonna work. um, don't base your dating criteria on looks or how well a guy is known musicianship-wise, because that stuff doesn't matter. Most things in life don't matter. When it comes to dating, um, whether a guy is going to treat you right or not, that's what matters. I've been with so many guys who would sleep with me but not date me, and that's kind of bullshit. If a guy likes you, he doesn't need to put a ring on it. He just needs to, like, date you. There's nothing scary about dating someone. The only diff between effing someone and dating them is whether or not it's exclusive. Dating is just a word. Like, it's a word. That's all it is. And if a guy isn't going to be exclusive with you and you're sleeping together, let's just say that's how nice girls get the herp. And if I were a religious lady, I would be thanking God every day that I didn't have the herp, because I have had some dark, dark days in my past with some drummers that will not be named, and I'm just saying that they probably don't have the herp, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did, and I feel as if I have very, very narrowly dodged that bullet, so don't be like me, is my advice. Question number 2 is, I'm 15 and have never had a boyfriend. Is there something wrong with me? Well, Julia, I'm 28 and I've only had one real boyfriend. Is there something wrong with me? Personally, I think boys are just messed up. For instance, in the past 24 hours, not even kidding, I have been asked for tit pics by 2 guys that I haven't talked to in years, and 2 complete strangers. Most guys are total creepos, and the guys that aren't total creepos tend to come across as pretty dumb. You have to invest a lot of time to find a guy that's worth your time. And most of the time, they end up being not worth it. And it sucks because it's like, God, you're not smart, you're not attractive, you're not good in bed, you're good at guitar, but what good does that do me when I'm trying to have an orgasm? None. So sometimes I just want to give up on men and get a Taylor Swift real doll and live in happily wedded bliss. But I think there was a movie about how having a relationship with a real doll isn't socially acceptable. And I should probably see that movie because the Gaz was in it. And boys that look like Ryan Gosling are kind of my weakness in life, which is something I probably should not have said just now. But word up, my plate is so full right now. So, unless you are the Gaz himself, don't you dare even try to get a tit pic from me. But Ryan, however, hit me up. Question number 3 from Julia is, describe love in your own words. I've been in love twice, I think. People describe love in a lot of different ways, but for me there's a very tangible feeling that goes along with love. I've had a lot of trauma in my life, and I've dealt with that by sort of feeling dead inside. That's a feeling that I think a lot of people can relate to if they've had traumatic experiences. But I remember the first time that I realized I was in love, and I felt present. I felt 100% present for the first time that I could probably ever remember. I didn't feel a stitch of sadness or pain or anxiety. Instead, I felt this warmth come over me that came from inside. And I understood the phrase, my heart skipped a beat, because I swear to God it did. And my breath caught in my throat. And I felt I felt that way one time since then. And my immediate thought was, shit, because I knew what that feeling meant. It's love. And suddenly, you're not yourself. You're a crazy person, and your needs don't matter anymore. You'll do anything to fix this wonderful, beautiful creature that you've fallen in love with, even if it means destroying yourself in the process. And it's hard, because no one's perfect. And especially if you've been through things and you suffer from anxieties or probs, and you just want to put this other person first, and you want to do anything. But no one's perfect. Broken people fall in love with other broken people, and things fall apart, and sometimes you end up more broken. But all you can do is the best that you can. That's love. That's what love is for me, is that feeling of just when you see someone, all of your problems just melt away. And everything's perfect for that few minutes. That's what love is. Putting everything first for them. And all you can hope is that they want to put everything first for you too. So that's love. I don't know. I've been in it, and it's hard. It's so hard. And sometimes I hope I never fall in it again, and sometimes I hope I'll fall out of it. And it's crazy, and it drives me crazy. But when it's good, it's so wonderful. And when it's bad, it makes me want to die. But I think that's what love is. So this boy advice week was a little more serious than the last two. But I think that probably answers your questions, huh? I don't know what's in store next week. Hopefully some more questions will come my way. You can always like me on Facebook and reach me through there. Amber Valentine's Shriveled Hearts and the Skeletons Left Behind. Shriveled Heart. I only have one heart so far. Hopefully. You can @ me on Twitter, which is Amber Audra. You can see my Bandcamp. I still have tracks from my first EP for free. And in about 2 months, my album will be released, which will knock off everyone's socks because it's so amazing. The work in progress is turning out just sick, absolutely sick. And you guys can see my Twitter, which is Amber Valentine's Shriveled Heart .tumblr.com. I think I said Twitter. I meant Tumblr. There are all sorts of ways to reach me. Amber Valentine's Shriveled Heart @gmail.com. Amber Audra Valentine @gmail.com. All sorts of ways to get a hold of me. And I personally think I am great at boy advice. I don't know if my psychiatrist would agree, given my boy probs, but I think I'm awesome. And hopefully you guys agree. Next week, maybe we'll deal with some questions about pop music, and maybe you'll even get to see me recreate Taylor Swift's I Knew You Were Trouble video, which I've been practicing the dance moves for weeks, and I have them down pat, and I have the bruises on my knees to prove it. So until next time, remember, Amber loves you all.